It is Friday night at the Fieldhouse.
Bring it on.
The voice of Greg Sullivan joining Evan Massoud on Fred TV. We've told you folks for a while that this was going to happen, and finally we got Greg to put the headset on and join us. So great to have you, Mr. Herald News.
Oh, thank you, Evan, and I love Fred TV. I've loved them for years. You guys bailed me out in November with a video I did, so I've always liked Top of the Morning.
That's right, our student crew, Top of the Morning, getting up early to bring Durfee news to the city, and they post on the website. So it's good, like I said, it's a good open communication. Good to have you here with us. I'm glad that you're alongside.
Thank you.
So the Durfee Hilltoppers are going to have their starting five announced. So we're going to listen into the PA, and then we'll have the national anthem. We'll run down Brockton starters after the national anthem. We pay tribute to the red, white, and blue. Kiana Medeiros, a cheerleader for Durfee, will sing the national anthem tonight. So here we go, we'll listen in. Well, Greg, I think the definition of teamwork rings true right at the start here. A little bit of nerves there for Ms. Medeiros, but she got through it, and the sixth man helped her out. And I think teamwork's going to be the whole theme tonight. So
I think, Mr. Massoud, we may have seen the start of a tradition here tonight with the fans kicking in there with the singing.
I hope so, because, you know, it's nice when everybody does it, and it seems like you have to wait for something bad to happen for everybody to want to join in the national anthem, and it shouldn't be that way. You don't see that in any other country. Nope. That's for sure. Everybody sings. So I'm glad to see that they helped her out, and she got through it as well. So, you know, I'm not sure. I think that might have been the first time, one of the first times I've ever heard her sing. So, you know.
She'll be back.
She will be back, that's for sure.
And Evan, we have to determine who this near referee looks like. He looks like somebody famous, and we're going to get to the bottom of it. The ball.
All right. So, folks, stay tuned. Hilltoppers begin with the ball. Coming off a win against Bishop Feehan on Tuesday, completing a 2-game sweep of the Shamrocks. 63-57 was the score, and they start with possession tonight. Joe Camara trying to get things going. That's a third straight game that he's taken the first shot for Durfee. Jake Nera there to back him up and get Durfee on the board. Nera had a team-high 17 points in that game against Feehan. Really, the fourth quarter was big for him. He had a tough third quarter, Greg, but finished very strong with 9 points in that fourth quarter.
Yeah, and Chayton's a threat anywhere from like 22 feet in. I mean, he goes in there, he just like there, he got a rebound. He's kind of the point forward at times. And the coach emphasized, I guess the kid is in great shape. He never gets tired, so maybe he's a fourth quarter kind of guy.
That's a long three there from the corner. That was put up by Harris. No good, so the Hilltoppers remain. Hey, nice crowd here tonight. Big 3 hoops. Boys basketball in the historic field house. And Friday night, everybody should come out, and it seems like we got our biggest crowd of the year here.
Good. Nick Salmon just hit from in the lane to put Durfee up 4-0.
And a miss there from Abu Kaba. And just like that, though, Brockton does get it back. They steal it back. So after the miss, looked like the Hilltoppers would have it. Brockton takes it back. And there is Kaba now out to number 10. That's DeMar-J Taylor. And it'll be Durfee ball. We'll run down those starters real quick here for Brockton. Number 10, DeMar-J Taylor. Number 11, Karan Harris. Number 25, Nabil Flurber. Number 15, Abu Kaba. And number 24, Etinoso Okunbor, I'm sorry, excuse me.
Evan, I'm glad you have the responsibility of these Brockton names tonight. You might hear me referring generally to numbers.
I'm going to get my money's worth tonight, that's for sure. Every once in a while, we run into a road team that has a lot of difficult names, and tonight's our first of 2017. Thrown away by Nera, and it is Kaba coming away with it. 2 minutes in, Brockton still not on the board. They get it to Taylor. Back to, that's Flurber in the paint. Looks like he's going to lose it. He does. Oh, actually, no, that was Okunbor. Salmon getting some air, could not get it to fall. Going outside now, that's Flurber. Jumper, no good, out of play. And Durfee will get it back, and the crowd will let him know it.
Yeah, I think we got the sixth man absolutely on top of its game tonight is the early impression. That's the biggest group I think we've seen this year.
Oh, certainly. We were discussing the isosceles triangle last time. And this time it's full board. Nick Salmon.
This year it's an oversized rhombus, I believe, tonight.
Oh, yeah. And that's good to see. You know, I mean, you got a long weekend. The kids can't wait to get home for the long weekend. But, no, they're here tonight supporting the team, and that's what it's all about. That's what high school sports are about.
Do they get in for free?
Travel. Nope, but they have a reduced price, which I think is kind of the incentive. But you know what? We have a lot of sixth-man kids in Fred TV, and they come because they just want to be here. And that's really, I guess, the satisfying thing about it. Mm-hmm. You know, we've seen some ugly losses in this building, and they don't go anywhere. We've seen some ugly losses.
That was a beautiful pass.
Nick Salmon to Morency. It's 8-0 Brockton.
Sorry about that noise I made. That was just a heck of a play.
It was. It was.
I frightened myself.
Travel called. More defensive pressure. Toppers get it back. And you know what? I love that, though, Greg, because we are as much fans as we are working right now. Well, we're fans of the game. That's why we do this. And you know, that's fine. We see some great moments. Lopes putting a move, loses it. Durfee will keep it.
And you can tell that Salmon assist to Morency last time. Nick Salmon, he saw that play developing right from the start. And he knew without even looking at Morency where he would be.
Well, he comes from a basketball background. Nera gets it to him. It does not fall. Tipped away. Back to Nera. Underneath to Salmon. Tipped away. Back to Nera again. We'll go round robin here, basically. Out of play. Durfee ball. But Salmon coming from a basketball background. His dad played. His brother's on the team. Both of them on the football team this year as well. And Salmon also plays baseball. 3-sport player. Lopes trying to roll it in off the fingertips, but Kaba is there. He's going to try to go coast to coast. And it's put in, but The foul coming on Kaba.
Joe Camara drew the offensive there.
He certainly did. And Brockton, almost halfway through this first quarter, is still scoreless. Brockton at 4-4. Toppers, by the way, at 5-3 after the win. I'm sorry, 6-3.
6-3
after the win.
Over Fian.
Shorted them, that's right. So 6-3 for Durfee, 4-4 for Brockton. But Brockton's one of their 4 wins, Coach Bowen was telling us, was against New Bedford. So they already have one up in the win column in Big 3 play. So Durfee can knock down Brockton today. That would be big in the standings.
Yeah, from what I heard earlier today, I believe New Bedford is 0-8, so it might be a Brockton-Durfee battle for the league title.
Very possible.
24.
Okunbar puts it in for 2. Brockton on the board just over halfway through this first quarter. Durfee did draw a foul, an offensive foul on Morency, and that's why Brockton got the ball back just then. Lopes can't put it in. Nera, look at that, in traffic, going up the ladder. He loses it, though, in the transition, and now going to go to the hoop. Uncontested is Karan Harris, so it's now 8-4. Salmon with the 4 points early here and that assist. He had 10 in the Fian game. They'll get it to Nera, going for the lane, and it's
out of bounds.
Oh, out of bounds. That back foot looked like it was going to turn into a nice rebound transition again, but didn't happen that time.
And Evan, if you could criticize Durfee for anything so far, and it's not the worst criticism, I think they've overpassed a little bit. A few times, a little touch pass. So, they're looking for each other, so no coach will complain too much about that.
No, and that's something that Jameson told me before the Snowden game. He said, we got to pass better. We got to move the ball better, and we got to hit free throws. Well, they hit a lot of free throws in that game, and they passed a lot better. And Coach Bowen questioning that travel call. That's, I think, the 3rd or 4th turnover on a travel. And I think you got to credit the Durfee defense for that, and not so much any inexperience necessarily with Brockton.
They're moving their feet.
Coach Bowen always has them prepared. 3 minutes to play in the first quarter. 8-4 Durfee. It was an 8-0 run to start. 4-0 run now for Brockton. Durfee's missed a couple opportunities.
And I would think if Tyshawn Lopes is going to have a good game offensively, there's just a turnover, it's going to be on drives because Brockton's playing man-to-man, and the kids on him are quite a bit bigger than him. 14 for 3.
That's Precious Oko. And he sends it in for 3, and it's a 1-point game just like that. So we're seeing things in Oka, rather. I apologize. Precious Oka. Salmon, little floater. That was a little too soft. I'll tell you, he's been hitting those of late, so that was a rare miss. We've seen a lot of Durfee boys on Fred TV early in this season, and it's really because of the schedule. We'll see the Durfee girls more so later in the year when Durfee boys are away.
So you're not playing favorites, is what you're telling me?
No. We, fair shake to everybody.
We'll keep our eye on it.
Fair shake to everybody. But very rare do I get to see like 3 or 4 games in a row of one team, and that's what's gone on with the Durfee boys. So actually, it's helpful because it keeps us, up to date, or keeps me up to date with what's going on game to game. Narrow with a miss. So Durfee sharp early in the quarter, a little bit off late, and now trying to go for the lead. That was Oka, no good that time. Salmon gets it back. Nilan Nera gets it to Salmon.
Well, a couple of the Brockton big guys, Evan, Salmon and Nera are able to beat their guys, but the big Brockton guys are stepping up and very much getting in the way and making Durfee think about these shots.
Yeah, and I thought there was a little contact there on Morency. Thought maybe there'd be a foul, but the officials have been not too quick with the whistle tonight, which is sometimes better.
Oh, yeah.
Just let the guys play, especially in a game like this. You would expect the officials to be a little quicker with the whistle in a game where there's a lot of emotion and adrenaline going. It's a big game for both. But actually happy to see we haven't really heard the whistle too much. Nick Salmon's going to pick up his first foul. It's the team second, and it'll put, if I can see what number
14
that is. That's 14? Okay, that's Oka at the line, and he hits the first for the tie. So both teams experiencing 8-0 runs in this one. So Brockton made some changes on the fly without calling a timeout, which I thought we'd see after the 8-0 score. Instead, they've tied it, looking to take the lead. How about that?
9 in a row for the old Boxers.
9 in a row. And
Evan, as you know, they were state champs in 1985, as you well remember. Were you born?
I was born in '89, so that was before my time. Salmon is fouled, goes tumbling down into the cheerleaders area. He'll get some help, and he will head to the line. And I hear it 2-3. It looks like, yep. So Tariq Yaya. How about that?
Yeah.
And Salmon does get it to fall. Gets a favorable bounce. We're tied again, but I'll tell you, if this is any indication of how the rest of this game is going to go, with waves of offensive power, you're back and forth, it's going to be a fun one. Already is fun. What am I saying?
Having a ball.
Having a ball, and Salmon twice getting a lucky bounce there. Quick pass deep to the corner to Oka. Oka puts it up. Hunter Salmon with the denial.
My goodness gracious.
Nick had a block at the end of the game against Fian. And now Hunter with a block here in the first quarter. We're under a minute. Oh, couldn't get it to fall. I was going to say, if that went, that would have been real pretty. Oka wants 3, and a foul coming. A.B. Medrano is going to get tagged with Durfee's 3rd.
And Evan, I haven't come across in my lifetime many ABs. You get a lot of AJs, you get a lot of BJs, you get a lot, the occasional OJ. That might be the first AB I've come across.
Yeah, it is. You're true. A.B. Medrano.
Do we know what it stands for?
I don't actually, because it's not even listed on the roster either. Nera's going to get the rebound. Oka missed on the 3. That's almost a good foul, though. Good hustle there by Medrano, and it probably took 3 points away. So I'm okay with that one. I mean, Durfee fouls a lot, and now he steals it back. Look at that. Sagoon, a travel called. Sagoon, they call him Sonny. Sonny Okunlola, number 35, had it stripped away. And just like that, though, going back the other way.
7 turnovers for the Hilltoppers.
Yeah, got to limit that. Every time you turn it over, that's 1 less trip to the basket. Happy to only see 3 fouls, though. Oka wants 3, and it's off the back of the rim. Who wants it? Nera. Nilin Nera, that is. Going up. Medrano. Ooh, called on a travel. Wow. Look at the clock.
6 seconds.
0.6 of a second, and Brockton's going to get to inbound in a favorable spot. We're going to see what happens here. It's going to have to be bang, bang. Let's watch for number 23 there. That's Yaya. He's open outside. Now moving over is 12. That's Marcus Azor, and the quarter comes to an end. Well, kind of an interesting first quarter. It looked like a runaway early, and then just like that, Brockton came all the way back to tie it and take a lead. Durfee finishes, though, with a 1-point first quarter lead. So, I guess you could say pretty evenly split, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And things started off fairly well for Durfee, but Brockton's big guys seem to have them thinking a little bit there when they go into the hoop, when Salmon and Nera go to the hoop. So I don't know if Durfee's going to need a little more help from Lorenzi, and Hunter Salmon in his 2 minutes looked interested in getting involved in the game, I would say there, didn't you?
I would say
so.
Block and it was a block.
I like it when he runs the court, too, the big guy at the trailer.
Mm-hmm. Hunter is he's been big off the bench. He hasn't started that many games. You see Isaiah getting more of the starts. But Hunter has really made the most of his time when he comes in off the bench. And, again, right there, that block, you could say that's the difference right now in the game early on.
Yeah, it might be the reason why they're up. The problems. I have to do my first quarter tweet here, Evan, so it's all you for a few seconds.
Oh, man. You do it all, huh?
Oh, everything. I'll be sweeping up later. Here we go. Durfee 10-9.
And I should mention my coworker Gary Lee. He's monitoring the audio right now. He can hear us on the program feed, and he's just got a grin going. He's enjoying this. It's like watching the game at home on TV.
I think he's going to shut me off before too long.
Well, he can't do that because we're on the same channel the way this is set up, which means I would go, and then we'd have a problem. So, all right, Brockton gets the ball to start the second quarter. Evan Massoud from Fred TV, Greg Sullivan from the Fall River Herald News joining you.
And Fred TV.
And Fred TV tonight, absolutely.
What's the call here?
Looks like a foul on Medrano. And it is a foul on Medrano. I thought he was going for the ball.
This other ref looks like he's got a little bit of that vampire look about him. I like him.
Oh, jeez.
I haven't seen him blink yet.
He's watching what's going on. Doesn't want to miss anything. You know, things happen in the blink of an eye. It's a 3 ball. No good. Put up by Yaya. Yaya with a no-go right there. Yep. Chathan Nera.
You wanted to say Yaya with a no-no.
Yep. But no would be a no-hitter. I just didn't think that would work. We're talking basketball here. And okay, so a foul on, that's Yaya actually. His second foul, third team foul for the Boxers. No shot. Durfee will inbound with a fresh 30.
I'm going to call this guy the angry ref. He's got that angry look about him, huh? I have a feeling he's a decent guy.
You know, he is. He was talking to me before the game. I didn't put 2 and 2 together until his colleague came and sat next to him. And we were talking, I know. Lopes just wants a 3 ball so bad.
I don't think he's going to see many opens at all tonight.
I don't know. Well, he's open right now. Salmon doesn't see him on the other
tough
side.
Shot by Salmon.
I think it might have been tipped, too. We didn't get much on it. But, yeah, I was talking to that official before the game. And nice guy. Nice guy. There's a 3. That is short into the hands of Salmon. Lewis Charles couldn't put it up. Nillen there, a quick release 3, and that's no good.
Good
Lopes,
fight for the rebound.
He got it. Lopes beat Jerice Harris for that.
Ooh, there's a pick.
Nera
Mr.
can't get it in.
Big Hunter with the rebound.
Oh, he couldn't put it up. 90 seconds into the second quarter, we've yet to see a basket.
Nobody's getting any easy-looking baskets.
No, and you know, I got to tell you, one thing that I say drastically has improved is Durfee's defense this year. There's a 3. That's good from outside. Jerice Harris just into the game, gets in the books. Brockton with the lead. But I'll tell you, and this is absolutely take nothing away from Jameson Guimond, a great coach. But I can also remember, with Conley when Matt Kurt was over there coaching. I mean, he was practically defending from the sidelines. He gets so into it.
Yeah, he was. I mean this as a compliment. He was kind of crazy.
Yeah, no, I would agree. He is fun to watch. He's entertaining. You know, he's probably one of the most animated coaches, and I think that's a little bit of Billy Shea coming out there too. But I always said when Matt was head coach of Conley, he's the 6th man. The crowd was just added bonus, and you can see the defensive pressure whenever his team was playing defense. He'd be, come on, motioning everything. And I feel like he's been a good influence on Durfee because of that.
Oh, it can't hurt. Evan, like big games, really serious games, they're not pretty.
Yeah.
Guys are just playing killer defense, and things aren't going to be all graceful and, a glorified ballet. So this isn't surprising.
No, it's not, because these are 2 very good teams. And I figured this would be Durfee's biggest test, and I'm glad that they came away with the Fian game, because that had to give him some good confidence coming into tonight, because Fian's no slouch, regardless of how many players maybe they lost or whatever. Fian is no slouch at all.
Uh-oh, angry ref. I think he's just straightening out a shot clock issue here right in front of us. Look at the hint of a smile there. Did you see that, Evan?
Oh, I think he heard you. Yeah, the shot clock still had 22 on it.
This is way before your time for some of our older listeners, if they are. He's got a little bit of Donald Pleasance in him. Old-time actor. Sorry about that reference. You're going to have to deal with it. He was in Fantastic Voyage.
Okay.
All right, back to the game.
Back to the game. Back to the game. Almost tipped away by Nick Salmon. Thrown away by Brockton, and it's still going to be Boxer's ball.
Now I'm going to watch the 6th man over here. They have fun with the other team. They don't do anything wrong and nasty, but they definitely opposing players know when they're near the 6th man over there.
Oh, yeah. It's funny you bring that. Look at that rebound, and he ends up losing it. That was Amir Lewis Charles, really, with a great effort, but then he couldn't come down on his feet. You mentioned the 6th man, and you recently wrote an article about the frustration, or it was in one of your articles, part of one of your articles, that now the cheering sections are getting limited on what they can do. and we saw one of those things be they can't be the fake shot clock now.
Oh.
An official stopped them from doing that. Actually, I think it might have been our friend here that you're referencing as well. I feel like that was the game.
Is that mean guy or vampire? I think
No.
vampire.
Oh my goodness. I'm not sure who you have classified as which.
All right.
And I'm not sure.
And they're both doing a great job, by the way.
They are. But, you know, what are your thoughts on that? Because, I mean, for me, I remember being in high school, and that's the stuff that you did. It's not – if you can't deal with all the noise around, then, I mean, what does that have anything to do with it anyway?
No, as long as I say, you know, vulgarity, no.
No, they're not doing that.
Trying to, like, physically intimidate another player, get in his face, certainly not touching. You know, but other than that, have fun. Let it rip.
Exactly. I know. And this isn't the first time that Durfee's fans have been criticized. There was criticism, too, a couple games before even, I remember, too. So that wasn't the first time.
And even some people didn't like the pajamas thing at the playoff game. I think, but the bottom line is, it's people who complain are generally the ones who speak up. Most people thought it was funny, cool, or they were indifferent about it. I mean, when you go on if you care enough to go on the road wearing your pajamas and slippers, I think that's a plus.
Yeah, I would agree. It's school spirit. They did something unique.
It also helps the economy because I'm pretty sure a lot of them went out and bought pajamas for that game last year. Where was that? Up at Needham? Were you there for that one?
It was. It was the boys' playoff game. What are you going to do, right? There's always going to be some kind of restriction here and there, and I don't know if they're doing it at other schools. You know, I don't really leave the city for the most part. And Okanlola.
Yeah, that's a big guy taking a three out there. He looks like he goes about 240, and it's pretty solid, but he just nailed the three.
He's a big kid. Brockton actually definitely bigger than Durfee in terms of size. Nera trying to get free, and it's off the front of the rim, and he can't get it back. Quick pass down the court to Flurber. He wants the jumper. It's long.
I love that.
Nabil Flurber. Out of bounds. I think Durfee's going to have it back, are they? Or is Brockton inbounding? Brockton still has it.
There was a Disney movie many years ago, Flurber and Son of Flubber or something like that. They were good movies.
It was Robin Williams in Flubber.
Oh. That was the remake, young man.
Okanlola for 2, and the lead swells to 5. Largest deficit for Durfee tonight.
I know Durfee has been pretty chilly since that 8-0 start, Evan.
Yeah, only 4 points, and that's in almost a full quarter, a full 8 minutes or so of play. So absolutely, they have been quiet. Only 2 free throws out of 4 tries this quarter, and that's
coming in.
That's it for Durfee.
He's not. Is he shooting? No, coming in.
And that was on Amir Lewis Charles, and he's going to take a seat now. That was the 6th foul for Brockton. So the consolation, Durfee not scoring right now, getting overpowered by Brockton. Look at this. Taken away from Lopes. Down the court goes Kaba. Who's he going to pass to? He wants Karan Harris. It's long. There to back him up. Kaba gets it back. How about that? Puts it in for 2. 7-point lead.
That was some serious hustle.
Yeah, to get from the corner.
Yeah, basically got his own rebound.
Tipped away. Another lost ball for Lopes. Having trouble controlling it tonight. And he's going to get one back. Going to go to the hoop. Can he get there? Good fake. Yeah. Does not fall, but he is fouled by Okanlola. It's going to be the team 7th foul for the Boxer. So Durfee will go into bonus now for the final 3 minutes. This will be 2 shots for you at home because he was headed to the basket. But regardless, Durfee will head to the line for these final 3 minutes on any fouls going to the end of this quarter.
Evan, Durfee has not had an easy shot maybe this entire game.
No, you're right.
Since going up early.
Wow. You're right. They haven't. Going to make some personnel changes again. Morency and Kamara out. Back in is Nilanera and Hunter Salmon. So two sets of siblings and the guy at the line, Lopes. Lopes trying to go 2 for 2 at the line, and he is money at the line. And timeout called. I believe Coach Guimond called time. He did. So timeout on the court for the Hilltoppers. Want to kind of go through this.
I need a picture.
You need a picture.
I need a picture to tweet at the end of this. I think I got a picture. Policino, what's up? Blue. Oh, yeah, red for highlighting.
There you go. Coach Policino joining us now. Up. There's the camera over there. Let's say hi to the camera. There we go. Coach does volleyball and swim.
He does everything.
Yeah, kind of like you.
I've seen him plow in the parking lot. The guy is incredible.
Oh, man.
Oh, wait a minute. I don't want to post this yet.
Premature post,
Yeah,
Greg?
premature Twitter there.
We call that a false start.
Cancel. There we go. All right.
Oh, man.
Get a little worked up sometimes.
Well, I was told that I heard of a good Russian coach that I was asked to ask you about, Nikita Molkovich.
Nikita Molkovich, wrestling manager, way back when your dad was but a lad.
Mm-hmm.
And he had his, he managed, of course, the Russians. And he had them, did he explain anything to you? He had them chew garlic before the match as a weapon to use in the ring, the breath.
That's awesome. I was not told anything. My cousin Chris.
Oh, that's your cousin?
Yeah,
oh,
my cousin
right.
Chris.
That explains a few things. Board 9.
Oh, man. My cousin Chris Borges says, "You doing the game
Double
with
switch.
Sully?" He says, "You're miking up Sully?" Well, you got to ask him about Nikita Molkovich. I said, "All right, first time out we get. I will." So, but I wasn't told why. He said, "I assure you, there's nothing to worry about." I said, "Okay."
Do you have an extra pen for my friend here?
Yeah. I know, because he's impeding your process now.
I know.
Right?
I'm going to call security here, Policino.
Yeah, I need it back, though.
Evan needs that back. Thank you.
Let's get back to the game, okay? 19-14. 5-point lead. Reeled in there by Kaba. Back outside it'll go. That's Taylor now with it. Wanting to drive the lane. He'll get it to Kaba instead.
Good
trying to
switching defense.
It was, and Durfee paid off. Salmon to Chathan Nera. Underneath to Nilan Nera. He is totally covered up and fouled. So 19-14, and we'll have a 1-1 here.
1914, wasn't that the year the Titanic went down?
1912, same year
I was
Fenway
just
Park
testing
opened.
you. Just testing you.
Same year Fenway Park opened.
It actually reached the bottom, though, in 1914, from what I read.
Well, the Atlantic is deeper than the Pacific, so yeah, it's possible. That could be plausible. We'll have to call,
Woods Hole.
Mythbusters and see what they have to say. Oh, Nick Salmon. Does he keep it in? Oh, Nilan Nera stepped out. Oh, my goodness.
The big smiling ref on Lolo. He nailed that call, though. He got it.
Wow. Oh, he was right on the line.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This guy's enjoying his work.
But, man, oh, man, that was one heck of an effort by Salmon to even get a hand on that. So Nilan misses the 1-1, the first shot there. So no second shot. We stay at 19-14.
Whoa,
That's a backcourt violation.
That's the rule.
Good pressure by Lopes. I'll tell you, poor Lopes, he only has the 2 free throws. Durfee with no 3 balls in the game. Brockton with 3 of them. Hunter Salmon back to Nick Salmon. Wants 3.
Jumper.
Is this the first? It's no good. And it bounces back to Nick. Nick will try to bounce it back in. He can't. And coming away with it is Lewis Charles. Forging ahead is Taylor. Thrown away. Bounced off Hunter Salmon, and he's hurt. Nick in the corner. Back to Chathan. It looked like Hunter was hurt. He's kind of pulling up lame for a second there. Again, the rebound to Lewis Charles. Durfee throwing up some bricks right now. Nothing's falling, and I think they're feeling that pressure from Brockton.
Absolutely. Got him thinking. Tyshawn with some defense. Almost made a steal.
Yeah, went out of bounds. I really think that's, Durfee kind of had their way that first 3 minutes or so, and since then, Brockton has tightened up that D tremendously. They've outscored them here in the second quarter, 10-4. But, I say that now. Nilan just got the steal, so Durfee's got plenty of turnovers, thanks to good defense. They're just not getting the shots. Not getting an open look. Nera trying to go to the hoop. Hunter Salmon off the glass, the bottom of the glass. It didn't go. We're under a minute in the first half. Very low scoring.
Oh, my goodness.
And 1. They're given the foul. And 1. Nilanera called on the foul. Durfee's 5th team foul. Trying to make it a 3-point play will be DeMar J. Taylor after he got his first basket. We'll put the N1 in the book and see if he can sink it. Coach Guimond with a couple questions there after the whistle was blown, but
yeah, he thought it was a little bit of an NBA 3-point play there.
Coach Bowen directing some traffic right now. (22-14) is the score now. Largest lead for Brockton tonight, tying Durfee's 8-0 lead. Chethan Nera trying to get free, cannot. To the corner to Nillen. Nillen to Nick Salmon. 30 seconds on the game clock, 12 on the shot clock. Oh, the officials are going to conference here, are they, or no? Okay. Karan Harris picks up his first. It's the 9th team foul. This is interesting development is that Durfee has fouled less than their opponent for one of the few times this season.
Yes.
In a half.
Is playing man-to-man for the most part. Man, they help fast. If a guy gets beaten off the dribble, one of their big guys steps right in the middle of the lane.
Yeah, no, they've been tough. And now the stands are vibrating here. Another 1-and-1 missed. Going the other direction, a foul on Durfee. That's on Hunter Salmon, his first. Durfee's 6th as a team.
We got one of the fans across the way here, Evan's kind of going for the cowboy bandit look there. You see that? You got the bandana in the face.
I see it. Was he Billy the Kid or something?
Yeah, no, really.
Or Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Speaking of Billy the Kid, I just got my Billy Joel tickets for Fenway, and I can't wait to end the summer with the Piano Man again.
How much you pay? Tell the people what you paid.
No, I don't want to. I will say this. I paid face value just like everybody else, and I said I'm going to just do it rather than pay over face value on StubHub later. Nilanera fouled at the basket, and he will get 2 shots to end the quarter. Marcus Azor on the foul. Team max for the Boxers, 10 fouls for them.
You know, so I'm still trying to adjust to Nillen with his haircut.
I know.
I'm slow on the recognition.
I know. I almost missed him the other day.
Oh, first free throw misses.
Yep, first one does miss. Tough night at the line so far for Durfee. Not their best night. They're shooting maybe 55%, if you will. Not very much. Not too great. Yeah, maybe 65%, we'll say. I haven't officially tallied anything up. 5 seconds in the half. 7-point lead. Going up. No good. That'll end it. Tough second quarter for the Hilltoppers. They only managed 5 points and the startling number, not one shot from the field, Greg. Not one. They had 11 free throws and they made 5 of them. That's about as tough of a quarter. I'll tell you, full credit to Brockton's defense. And Durfee's D not playing that bad either.
No, not at all. Thank goodness.
Yeah, because this could really be a runaway. Total domination by Brockton's defense in that quarter. I will say that Durfee obviously missed some shots. There were some good shots that they probably could have had, just a little bit off the mark. But really, got to credit the Boxers' defense. They were big and bad in the second quarter.
And it's tweet time, Evan.
It's tweet time. It's halftime. It's break time. Third quarter coming up. Stick around on Fred TV. All right, we are back at Durfee for the second half of this Big 3 game. Brockton visiting the Durfee Hilltoppers. Evan Massoud and Greg Sullivan joining you tonight from the field house. It's been a fun first half, Greg. Maybe not so much if you're a Durfee fan. The Hilltoppers have really struggled, especially in that second quarter. Not one shot from the field.
Are we on camera right now?
We are.
Oh, this balances my face a little better. Yep. And the Brockton man-to-man defense, let's see what Durfee can do in the second half, because they are tough.
It's all, if you take these glasses off and they start doing well, you can't wear them the rest of the night, okay?
Deal.
You know, we're superstitious like that.
Where's my red pen? There.
Your red pen, yes. Ay. Durfee starts with possession. Morency tried to put it up. It was blocked. The second look will go in. And he gets his first basket since that first quarter. Durfee with 6 fouls in the first half. Brockton had a team max. They went to 10, and now a 3 from the corner wide to the left. Nick Salmon up the ladder to get the rebound.
He gets a lot of rebounds, Nick Salmon.
Now, I'll tell you, he gets a lot of height, too.
Yeah.
And look at that steal from Karan Harris. And he's going to be fouled. That's no doubter right there. Anytime you get double coverage like that, there's going to be a foul.
Yeah, he and Salmon are having some pretty good offense versus defense wars out here.
And Salmon only with 1 foul. That's now going to be his second. Harris only has 1 as well. That came in the first half. He's going to go to the line. First trip to the line for him. Brockton only has shot 3 free throws. They've hit all 3. Now all 4. Durfee on the other side, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. And they've missed 6, so they're just over 50%, which is not that great.
And we know that's been a problem at times this year for the Toppers.
Yeah, and you know, they've missed, what did I say? They missed 6 of them. They went into the half trailing by 7 points. So they make those shots, it's a 1-point game. Both shots were made there. I'm sorry, no, 1 was made. Yeah, the last shot was not made. Lopes keeps it out to Chaitanera, looking for Durfee's first 3. It doesn't go. Salmon with the tip, back to Morency. Joe Camara comes away with it. Almost a travel there, almost threw it away. To the corner, Nick Salmon for 3. And there it is. Finally, the Hilltoppers hit one from the field, and they finally get a 3 as well.
That was a 3-shot possession. He worked awfully hard for that 3.
They certainly did. Taylor looking to answer off the front of the rim. No good. Getting the rebound back was Flurber.
Son of?
Etanoso. Flurber. Still has it. Oh, late whistle. That's a late whistle. That's what that is.
Let's go to the Durfee bench on that one. They didn't like that call. But they're not going to like every call, Evan.
No, and please, our officials, they really have done a good job tonight.
I wonder how much they make. I think about 70 bucks.
I think so. I'm not 100% sure. I just know that was a little bit late of a whistle. Maybe you just couldn't get it in the mouth. That's possible. You know, sometimes that happens. But that was a little late compared to some of the whistles we've heard tonight. And you know what that does? It just makes you wonder, like, are they thinking about it? It's like the delayed strike call from home plate umpires. Like, well, was it?
Doesn't that drive you crazy?
I know. Was it a strike or not? Durfee, 6th man, getting loud again. Nera to Morency. Morency almost lost it. Blocked! Look at the block by Okenberg. Took that one completely away. To the corner to Flurber it goes. Now Taylor trying to go up. And 1 for the foul. Oh, no, wait a minute.
Looks like he pointed for the charge.
Oh, he did, yes. Boy, I jumped the gun there. So he gets called on the foul. No shot. No basket. First team foul for Brockton in the second half. Durfee ball.
Evan, I don't think this is outrageous. I would guess Brockton has blocked 10 shots at least tonight.
Absolutely, and now they've just taken away another one.
Oh,
Harris
he's pushing him in the back.
Salmon's got to be careful because this is now foul number 4 for Salmon. He just picked up 3 fouls in less than 3 minutes of play here. And you know what? He's going to have to come out because you can't lose him this early in the game. That's a tough one right there. And now Nick, he knows it. He's going to sit. A.B. Medrano coming in. And you know what? I don't think you're going to see Salmon until the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
I'd be shocked.
Yes.
He's got 4 fouls. Both free throws missed.
My goodness gracious.
It rolls out. Who has it? Tyshawn Lopes has it. Looking to forge it. Look at the spin move. Nicely done.
Oh.
Can't put it in, and he's knocked down on the other end. Another.
Coast to coast, but he just ran into some trees there in the end.
I know.
Tough scoop shot.
And another foul called on Durfee. Boy, racking him up early here in this second half. That's going to be on
Morency,
Joe.
I believe.
1-4, he said. Joe Camara, actually.
Shame on me.
That's Joe's first, and now timeout. Durfee calling time. You know, I think that's a good idea by Jamison because, you know, they're obviously pressing. They're committing a lot of fouls. You can't just keep sending Brockton to the line either. So I think that's a good time to call timeout. It's good that they're coming out with, you know, some aggression here. The defense has been good for Durfee tonight. when you limit Brockton to only 25 points, I mean, that's a good day at the office so far.
Absolutely.
But you also got to hit points on the other end.
You know, it's interesting. Sometimes you never pray for your top kid, arguably, Salmon, to go out. But, you know, sometimes things happen. Other kids get a chance, and maybe it's to some degree the other team relaxing a little. So let's see. I'll give you my prediction. I just had a vision. Joe Camara is going to do some good things here.
Okay. Well, Joe doesn't have any points tonight. It's been a tough day at the office for him, albeit he hasn't been on the court the whole time, nor has he had a lot of shots. But we'll see. We'll see if your prediction rings true. But I see what you're saying. You know, a top player like Salmon, a captain, goes out, and now that might also allow other players to fill different roles for Durfee, and it could confuse the Brockton defense. Meanwhile, the Boxers have missed 3 straight free throws.
Who would have guessed this score in this game? This is a little surprising.
Yeah, it certainly is.
So I think last year we were up in close to the 80s when these guys hooked up here.
Last year was a shootout. I remember that game.
Heads up.
That's going
turnover
out.
Durfee.
Another turnover, man. So that was a 1-for-2 trip for Abu Kaba at the free throw line. That was after Harris missed 2 on his last trip. And there is Kaba.
Nice drive.
That was pretty right there. And that's something Durfee has not really been able to do when they need some points. Those are some easy layups that you should have. It's the outside shots that should be more difficult. And a foul now on Taylor.
I believe he calls that move the corn on the Kaba right there. He's known for that.
That's great. Oh, man, that's awesome. The corn on the Kaba. Open your ears, folks, for that one.
But he's not very husky.
Oh, gosh. We better stop. Silky smooth.
Camara,
Silky smooth pass for Camara. And I think we've exhausted the corn stalk puns, if you will.
At least for this quarter.
At least for this quarter. And we got a player down and hurting right now. That is Abu Kaba. Never like to see a player go down. He got up on his own power, which is really good to see. He's going to have to take a seat.
A legitimate smattering of applause there.
I know. You know,
that was like for a par.
I was going to say
the first round of the Kemper Open or something.
I was just going to say, what are we watching right now? Are the fans watching the game? All right, that was the 3rd foul for Kaba, and it came at a price. He's going to take a seat because he may have hurt himself. It's the 3rd team foul. Now Morency at the line. His first trip to the line, he missed that first one. He misses them both. Man, that was
Camara
tough.
got a hand on that.
He did. He just couldn't keep it. Flurber passing it to Oka. Flurber wants 3. No good. Into the hands of Morency. He'll get it to Medrano. Back to Chethan Nera. It's an 8-point lead for Brockton. To the corner. Tyshawn Lopes really wanted to go for 3 there. He had to wait again.
It's not going to be a 3-point night for Tyshawn. It's just not with this defense.
A.B. Medrano wants 3. That's going to be very long. Chethan Nera almost lost it. He's able to get it back. 8 seconds on the shot clock, and he goes back
foul
court.
or back court. Yeah, you got to call the foul.
Ooh, Coach Bowen is hot right now.
My goodness gracious.
Whoa.
Let's get the...
Tyrone Victor picks up the foul.
Can we go to the Bowen heart monitor on that one, man?
I know, really. Oh, I'm sorry. It was actually Sonny Okunlola, his 3rd foul, 4th team foul. Fresh clock for the Hilltoppers. I agree. You got to call the foul because he was pushed back. That's the problem. You know, he didn't just step back.
He's going to shoot. No, I thought he'd shoot that.
Oh, and they're going to lose it.
Uh-oh, brother to brother. Let's see if they...
No, nothing. But Nera gave a little chirp initially, and I don't know, maybe he was mad at himself even because it looked like it was to Nillen's left. It didn't look like, or Nillen's right. It wasn't a perfect pass either.
And Durfee got away. No, they didn't get away with it.
Oh, boy. And Nillen's going to be fouled. The shot will count. Looking for a 3-point swing here is Brockton. Nabil Flurber. Nera's 2nd foul. 5th Durfee foul.
30-20, and they're shooting a free throw.
Yeah, largest lead for either side tonight. Morency gets the fingers in there, and look at that. Okanlola gets it back, but he threw it away. Lopes to Morency. Morency loses it, but it goes. Oh, it's out of bounds off of Brockton. It was Oka dribbling it out. He couldn't stop himself. So Jathan Nera will inbound. 10-point lead.
Beautiful.
Gets it to Nillen. Oh man, he couldn't get it to fall.
Made a good hard cut on the inbounds, but just missed the layup. Man.
Okanlola from downtown, and this lead is a baker's dozen. Timeout, Durfee. Well, Greg, the good news, Durfee has a 3 and a 2-point field goal from the field in this quarter. Bad news is they missed 2 free throws, and Brockton has a couple more, and so this lead is swollen to an even bigger margin.
Evan, I tell you, there are going to be some incredible rebound numbers in this game tonight.
Oh, yeah, certainly.
Because there's a lot to be had.
Yeah, both sides, I mean, like magnets for the ball. I mean, truly, to see a 33-20 score right now, these two D1 schools always battle it out. It's always a shootout. This is shocking, actually. This is really, you got to credit both defenses, really.
So unless this game changes radically, when people see the score tomorrow, they're going to be like, oh, my goodness. What happened there?
I know. And you know what? It's really
Jack Foley.
Jack Foley, yes, indeed. You think you just saw him on the as he walked by, photographer for the Herald.
I think he's had that sweater for 30 years. With Matt Malone. I like Malone. What do you think about Matt Malone?
Our superintendent is great.
I like that coat. Can we get a shot of his coat? Malone's coat?
I don't know if we can right now, but
right.
we may have an opportunity later.
We probably should cover the game.
No, Dr. Malone is.
Do you go for this doctor stuff?
Yeah, I had professors in college that that had their doctorate, and they work hard for the title. I think they deserve the title if they work hard for it.
If he can help my sore back, then I'll call him doctor. That's interesting. They have the big guy out on top here, Brockton.
I know, they're mixing it up, and you know what? Durfee can't do anything about it. That's the whole thing. He just beat him with a 3. Jathan to Nillen on the rebound tip, if you will. And the Hilltoppers trying to get some points. Nillen missed a 3 a moment ago, had an open look, just couldn't get it to fall. And I think part of it, too, Durfee with so few looks at a 3. Here's another one. Nillen wants one. It doesn't go. Same thing. That was like...
Boy, that kid works hard, Chapin.
Oh, my goodness. I know.
Whoa, the super scoop.
Out of bounds.
And I have a feeling he will. Chapin is a very unselfish player, but it might have to be like the other night where they realize he might be the best option to make things happen, at least when Kamara's not in the game.
Yeah, and, like, again, with Nick on the sidelines, Chapin, you're the captain. He's going to be the go-to guy. I think that's why you got Nillen taking some outside shots. Unfortunately, having trouble getting him to fall. Durfee with just the 1 3-ball this game, and it was Nick Salmon at the beginning of this quarter. That is Tyrone Watkins, number 20 for Durfee. Gets it to Lopes. Lopes has only 2 points. They came at the line in this game. Oh, Chapin almost lost it. Look at that recovery for Jathan Nera.
They needed that, guys.
Yeah, they certainly did. It's a 9-point game coming up on the 2-minute mark in the third quarter. They threw it away.
Actually, 11. Sorry, 11.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Yep.
I apologize.
No. That's a good call there. 11-point differential. Durfee trying to cut it to under 10 with this possession after Brockton threw it out of bounds. And Coach Bowen spiked it a la Gronkowski.
Look at this.
Lopes, another brick. It doesn't go down. Every 3 has either been long or it's been off the back of the rim. Durfee just not getting a good look or a good feel for it right now. And maybe, again, could be that they feel they're rushing it. But these last couple shots, I don't know how it is on the court for them, but these last couple shots from watching it, they're setting up. It's not like they're having to just do a quick, Ray Allen type 3 where they're running it, just letting it fly. They're actually getting set.
Yeah, the looks have been cleaner, but the shots aren't going in.
Yeah. Tough night at the office offensively for Durfee. And that's Watkins. He draws the foul. And it's going to be on number 15. That's Abu Kaba's fourth foul. So he's got 4. He's going to have to take a seat. 5th team foul for the Boxers.
This has been a long quarter, Evan.
Oh, yeah.
We still got a long way to go.
Interminable quarter. I mean, 10 fouls either side. We've had some out of bounds. I mean, it's been slow to develop. The first quarter was like a blur. Chathan off the mark. No good. Another 3. You know, Coach Guimond told me this before last game against Feen. He said, we can't settle for 3s. We got to charge the lane. Now, again, I'm not on the court. I don't see what these guys are seeing. But we're seeing a lot of 3-ball attempts, and nothing's falling. I think you get to a point now, you got to mix things up a little bit and try something else.
Yeah.
Now, Nick
but
Salmon
when they
back.
go in, they get blocked a lot. Salmon back with 120.
And, yeah, back with 1:20 on the clock in the third quarter.
What's up, Doc?
Dr. Malone just giving us a quick wave as he's heading back down the sidelines. Nick Salmon back in again with 4 fouls. Oh, he loses it, and you tell me that's not a foul. There was all kinds of contact right there, not just on the ball. Oka with the credited steal, but probably should have been a foul. Nick Salmon with the basket and 1 on the other side.
Oh, look at that.
So a little redemption there, I suppose, but 2 guys slapping at the wrists of Nick Salmon. You can't tell me that's not a foul. And that was clear as day. 6th foul for Brockton, the 3rd foul for Tariq Yahya. Salmon makes it a 3-point swing there. It's a 10-point game with 61 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter. Durfee's put up 10 points. That matches their, in this quarter, it matches their output from the first quarter.
I like Malone's shoelaces, a little bit of orange look there. I like that.
Yes. You're all over Dr. Malone's attire tonight, and you're very impressed. An air ball on the other end for Brockton. Long feed down the court. That's A.B. Medrano. Back out to Nick Salmon. Salmon with the feed to Hunter. Hunter gets the and 1 as well. This is what I'm saying. You got to mix it up. You can't just take shots outside. And if Hunter can make this, it will be a 6-0 run on 2 possessions.
Absolutely.
These are the things. Draw the darn foul.
Soon getting worked up. We like it.
Well, it's true. Draw the foul.
Oh, wow.
Tipped out. Nick Salmon wants it. Out off of Brockton. Durfee ball. Absolutely. That's a heck of a play by Salmon. Second time we've seen him do something like that tonight. Racing to the sidelines. Durfee into bonus as well, thanks to the 7 Brockton fouls. That last one was on Okunber, his first personal foul. So Durfee will go to the line every time out the rest of this game. Nick Salmon.
Wow.
That should have been a foul.
Pandemonium on the floor, Evan.
I mean, you saw what I just saw, right? Just grabbed the wrist. Now Lopes looks like he just got hit in the eye. Coach Guimond not happy. Our official trying to stay calm. We don't want to see a tech here.
No.
And all right, they said their piece. But as far as from what I saw, Nick Salmon was definitely fouled. And then something else happened with Lopes. He's taking a seat. Durfee will inbound and try to take the final shot of the 3rd quarter and finish strong here. They go to Watkins. Watkins quickly covered up. Nick Salmon gets the pass.
12 seconds.
12 seconds, now down to 10. Going to the corner. Medrano back out to Nick Salmon. A little sloppy, but he got it there. 3 seconds. Underneath, out of bounds. Great pressure by Brockton right there. That was a great
really great 15 seconds of D right there.
It certainly was. No points allowed. 1.3, desperation.
Oh, it's going to hurt the shooting percentage right there.
Hey, you know, that is not a bad ending there to the 3rd quarter. Durfee ends it 35-27. It was 33-22 at one point. So 35-27, not a bad way to end the 3rd quarter. I mean, still not great for Durfee, but they definitely they got some shots to fall late, and maybe they're starting to find a rhythm or solve Brockton's defensive scheme a little bit here.
That's the. Are we on camera?
Of course we are.
Oh. Yep, that's the thing. They can go through 3 quarters like this, Evan, and then cut loose for 22 points in 1 quarter.
They
Things
can.
like that happen.
You never know. They finished very strong. The third quarter was rough for them against Fian. They finished very strong against Fian in that game.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, we'll see how they finish here tonight. And yes, folks, Greg's not being rude. Greg has to tweet as well.
Right,
Live
yeah.
tweet.
I'll get
We
fired
did
on the spot if I don't.
We did a Facebook Live post in the middle of this game as well. You may have seen it, last Friday on Fred TV here.
I love Fred TV.
Greg's turning into our #1 fan. I'm telling you. Oh, boy, oh, boy. Well, in that third quarter, the Hilltoppers got 12 points. That's their highest output of the night. On the other side, it was another 13 points for Brockton. They've had 9, 13, and 13. Durfee 10, 5, and 12. It's 35-27 Brockton as we head into the fourth quarter. Evan Massoud and Greg Sullivan with you here. The final act from the Fieldhouse on this Friday night. Big 3 hoops. Durfee got to come from behind tonight if they want to pull off this upset. And a stolen ball right there by Tyrone Watkins will give Durfee back the ball. Nick Salmon outside. That's A.B. Medrano. It's long and no good. Thrown in and nicely recovered there by the Boxers. Oka hands it off to Medrano. Says, look what I found. To the hoop and 1 for the foul. And boy, let me tell you, Coach Cruz from football, boy, does he enjoy doing PA.
Oh, yeah.
He is into it. 8th foul for the Boxers. 2nd team foul for Lewis Charles. And this could make it a 5-point game. It does not go. Look at that 3. That's how to answer on the other side. Oka from downtown. I said at the beginning of this quarter it was a 7-point deficit. It's an 8-point deficit to start the quarter. Now it's a 9-point deficit.
Brockton looked like they were off to the races, but a foul called at midcourt against the Boxers.
That's their 9th. Durfee going to the line.
One of the Boxers looked like he was getting a little angry, and one of his teammates restrained him, Evan.
That's important. So now, important to note, Abu Kaba, he's on the bench right now. He's got 4 fouls. And now Yaya coming out, he has 4 fouls. So 2 of the starters for Brockton. Oh, I'm sorry, no, Yaya was not a starter, but he's been a big player in this game in terms of defense. So 2 big guys for Brockton out right now with 4 fouls each. Nick Salmon makes the first foul. Salmon's turned in a nice night in limited time. I have 13 points by my count. 6 first quarter points, 6 third quarter points, and now 1 here to start this fourth. And that will fall as well. So the 1-and-1 gives Durfee 2 points.
And still very much a game here, Evan. Down 7.
It certainly is. They got to limit the outside shots like this. Again!
Wow.
Oka!
Where'd this come from?
My! 10-point game. Durfee gets 2. Oka gets 3. Jathan Nera to the basket. He gets 2. And that's what we saw him do so well to finish that Fian game. All these drives to the basket.
Wow.
In. Uncontested. Karan Harris out of nowhere. He hasn't had a field goal since the first quarter. 10-point game again. Jathan outside. Oh, no. Medrano thought about it. Hunter Salmon with the putback. I give Durfee a lot of credit over the last 3 to 4 minutes of play going back to the end of the third quarter. They're getting the looks at the glass, and unfortunately, the defense at this point, now Durfee's hitting shots, but they're not blocking shots. So both things not coming together when they need to.
Good defense. They stripped Salmon.
Yeah, that's a great, great strip right there. That was clean, all ball.
One kid played him straight up, and the trailer came in and stripped the ball.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, kid?
Harris.
Whoa. You can almost hear just the ball there, huh?
Yep.
But
a foul called on Medrano. This will be
disagrees.
Durfee. third foul for Medrano, and it's Durfee's sixth foul. Sully, you're killing me. You're killing me. No shot, though. They'll have to inbound it. They get it to Taylor. Almost at center court. Far side Harris met by Hunter Salmon.
Yeah,
and
Hunter
Nick
Salmon took to the skies there on that one.
Back to the court. Are you kidding me?
Oh! 14 loves that right corner.
My goodness gracious. His fourth from downtown, third in the last 90 seconds or so. And he single-handedly put Brockton back up by double digits.
Look how things are changing, though.
But see, Durfee's getting points now. So it's really, this has been a very, we always have one game a year that it's just a weird game. You know, that's the only way to describe it. Things just out of the ordinary, not right, not the norm. This has been a weird game.
Isn't that what we love? But it's good. It is. Look at.
Well, it keeps us interested at least, right?
Durfee was sitting at 20 points with just over a minute left in the third quarter. Now we're only 5:17, so 3 minutes less into the fourth quarter. Now I'm just throwing numbers all over the place. But they are up. They scored 17 points. They've almost doubled their score in like 1/3 the time. So
it has been a very weird game, let me tell you.
That kid's threes have become the difference here because no one was making threes.
It is the difference. It's a 9-point game. You take those shots away, we're tied right now.
Oh, look at our grumpy ref just having a good time with the fans across the way.
He's not grumpy. You know what we should have done, which I pregame, we help the kids get set up with the cameras. I have to get my book ready, talk to the coaches, et cetera, et cetera. Forgot to get the refs' names. It would have been nice to have their names. I think that our guy in the news that you say Vampire, I believe his name is Joe. I believe it's Joe. I could be wrong, but I'm almost certain I've heard that tonight. But don't quote me on it. We see him a lot. We see this team of officials a lot.
He's just having too much fun over there.
Yeah, and they do a good job, these guys. We see every, big game or tournament game or like the Skip Karam tournament, these guys were here. We see them a lot.
And they travel.
Oh, they certainly do.
They love those bus rides, I think.
I can't say I would.
There's a steal.
A.B. Medrano did steal it, but it went out of bounds. Much to the chagrin of Medrano and his teammate Chethan Nera, who was ready to get that pass back, and they couldn't hold on to it.
Not a little pushing and shoving here.
Tough break.
The sixth man, they want to get those terrible towels flying here. They just need a little excitement.
I know. I mean, really, look at, it didn't go.
Big guy, 35, I believe.
I believe so. 35 will give him the points on that. That's Okunlola. And with the 2, he's into 10 points now, double digits for him.
Okunlola.
Nick Salmon to Chethan. Salmon wants his second 3, and it's good from way outside.
My goodness.
That is a college 3 right there, Greg. That was
8-point game.
Serious range on that one. That ball caught some air. I thought it was going to hit one of the other baskets. Now Okunlola, it's off the back of the rim. Hunter Salmon with the rebound. We'll get it to Nick. Nick takes it out. And boy, this second half has been long.
Off the glass. Oh, nice pass. Be ready.
Oh, man, Morency missed it. That's a killer right now. Both coaches, very intense. Nobody's sitting down. This is what you want from Big 3 basketball.
Got Paul Coogan here in the house.
I know, he's screening me right now. Isn't that a foul?
Yeah, we're talking about you, big guy.
he just looked away. Oh, man. Oka, it's short this time. Chethan Nera with the rebound. Medrano down to Nick Salmon. He gets...
What is that?
I think they're saying he went out of bounds.
All right.
Oh, man, that's tough.
The rule.
I think Nick is mad at himself there. We have seen so many turnovers. I'd venture to say we've seen, more. We've definitely seen more turnovers than fouls, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That was tipped, but look who's there to back it up. Oh, and
goodness.
One for the foul.
Little offense by accident, but it worked.
Man, he is having some second half.
Uh-oh, low battery.
No more tweets, Greg.
We'll get one more tweet and that's it.
It's the first foul. Oh, I'm sorry. They're saying it was on Chaitan Nera. I didn't think so, but I guess they're calling it on Chaitan Nera. I thought that was on Hunter Salmon, the foul. Oka in for 2. Oka has 12 points in the fourth quarter alone. 19 for the game. That's your game high right now. Chaitan Nera looking
nice
for some.
pass.
Oh, look at that. See, that was a little bit too far to Salmon's right. He couldn't get settled. He almost lost it. And then a missed shot.
Who wants it?
Look at that. Forced turnover. Nicely done by Nick Salmon. And he goes down hard. I mean, you can't say that either side isn't like trying right now, because that's not even close. I think that both defenses are overwhelming, and I think that Durfee is having a tougher time dealing with Brockton than the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the only way to say it, the only way to put it. Chaitan will try to inbound here. He will. Lopes off the rim, and he still does not have a shot from the field. Blocked by Morency. Nicely done there.
And he keeps it in bounds. You got to like that.
Nick Salmon throws it away. Morency was blocked.
I think Brockton will now start milking the clock.
I think so, too. And you know who I don't see on the sidelines, at least I don't think I see, is Brendan White. He's not on the bench tonight.
No.
Not sure. He could be out sick. We saw that one of the players for Durfee earlier this year, they were out sick that day or absent from school. They couldn't play. And I tell you, White has really been a good spark for this team this year. He's played a good game. And
he's an outside threat, and they could use a little more of that.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I think that they're missing him. Another three put up by Brockton. Tariq Yaya. 14-point game. Timeout Hilltoppers with 2:31 to play in the game. And I think it's pretty much safe to say that this one's going to be in the bag now.
I'm not ready to commit to that, but
no?
1, 2, 3, 4 3-pointers and a 3-point play for the Boxers this quarter, Evan.
It's insane. And then add a couple field goals, one from Okunlola, a layup, and one from Harris, a little jumper. But, I mean, the outside shot is just killing Durfee right now.
Yeah, Brockton, Durfee cranked up the offense, but Brockton did one notch better. So,
and really, it's been the story. You take away that 8-0 run from Durfee to start this one as well. Mm-hmm. They could easily only have 35 points on the board, right? I mean, it's really been a struggle offensively for the Hilltoppers. I think they I'm looking at the book here, and I think they may have just as many free throws as they do field goals, maybe even more free throws.
Well, I bet through 3 quarters that was the case.
Oh, certainly. Yeah, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 from the field. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. They have more free throws than they do field goals. And if Brockton wasn't so foul heavy, there'd be more points lost. So a weird night at the office for the Hilltoppers offensively. The defense, I mean, aside from these threes that we're seeing put up by Brockton right now, Durfee's D has been very good tonight. And that's one thing that they should definitely be proud of coming out of this first game against Brockton. To the corner, your man, Kamara.
Oh, I thought he got fouled.
No go. You were looking for the 3 free throws, weren't you?
Yep.
Nilanera can't get it to fall.
Oh.
Who has it? That is Yaya. See, this is the thing. You get the ball back, and you still can't get it to go. It's just been an off night.
Woo, he came close to stepping on that half-court line.
I saw that. You got that right. They play back, and you see, look, 5 on the shot clock. They're taking their time now, and still getting the shot off was Okunlola.
And they got the rebound.
Look at that, they got the rebound, too.
All right, now it's over.
90 seconds to play.
I'm committing now.
You committing?
Yes.
I prophetically said that a minute ago, but that's okay. 15 on the shot clock. We're under 90 seconds.
And Durfee doesn't seem to be in foul mode, so.
No, you know what?
Dive. Somebody dive. Ooh.
Chathan's going to get just his second foul of the night.
He's a hard competitor, though.
He really is.
He's not interested in just counting down the last 80 seconds or whatever.
I think when Nick Salmon came back into the game at the end of the third, that was the only time Chathan took a seat tonight, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe you're right.
So, to your point, he just full board, full energy, constantly. And a 1-and-1 here for Oka at the line. 3, 6, 9, 12, 14, 17 points for him. So he can't get over 20 with this trip, but he can get to 19 if he hits his second shot. Misses the second shot. So he'll have 18 for the night.
Oops.
Oh, another one through Morency's fingers. I'm not sure if he's just not ready for these passes.
14.
Now 20 points for Oka after that one. But
I know. After you shut the book on him, he came and said, check this out, Masood. I'm not done yet.
I know, right? Now Morency's had it. That's blocked by Tyrone Victor, adding just a little more height for this last minute of play. Okanlola, good for 2.
He's a big dude.
He is. 12 points for him. Oh, and a timeout call. We're playing till the very end here tonight.
Who called that time, Durfee?
Durfee did. Yeah, Morency too. He is such a big presence underneath. Only a sophomore, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So you could say he's an inexperienced player. He's an underclassman, and he's gonna grow from here. In terms of with game experience and whatnot. And I truly believe that. I don't know if you could say he'll be Conrad Bradbury.
Yeah.
Bradbury was not only tall, but he was big. He was a house. Morency's not a house. He's very thin kid. Thin guy, but he's tall. And I think
long arms, too.
Exactly. I think you're going to see good things from him going forward this year and the next 2 years. But, I almost feel bad for him. A lot of passes right through his hands tonight.
That's tough. He looks frustrated. See him going out there, so.
Yeah. He can't beat himself up because everybody's missing shots tonight.
Look out behind you.
Everybody's turned over the ball tonight.
That was sneaky.
Almost. So, it's been sloppy.
Oh.
It's been sloppy, but also well defended.
Absolutely.
So I think that's really a fair way to say it. Looks like Tyrone Victor is going to get in the book because he's committed his first foul. And it is, once again, the team limit, team max for Brockton. Chathan Nera at the line, shooting 2 with 32.4 seconds to go. It's 59-41 after that one. Nera 2 for 2 on the trip. So 59-42 is the score with 30 seconds to play. About a second and a half difference on the shot clock. And you see, look at Chathan got it back. I was just going to say both Nera brothers really fighting for the ball. And now Chathan threw it away. 15 seconds. No pass down the court. We're going to, wide open. It does go. And now he gets points. That was Victor. Chathan Nera with 3 seconds to make it count here. And it's blocked by Tyrone Victor. It does not fall. And a tough night at the office for the Hilltoppers. But a good bounce back fourth quarter. They do pick up 15 points in that fourth quarter. That is their largest output in any quarter of the night. Nick Salmon led the way for Durfee. Unofficially, 12, 15, 17 points for Nick in the loss, accounting for over 30% of Durfee's total. And Precious Oka with a ridiculous fourth quarter. 3 from downtown, 2 from the field, and 2 at the line. In that fourth quarter alone, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 alone in that fourth quarter, in addition to another 7. He had 22 on the night. So, Sully, you worried about Durfee? You think they're going to be just fine? What do you think?
I think, they'll still be a playoff qualifier. And, today was just probably the first time they've run into this kind of defense this year. Let's see what happens next time out and when they go up to Brockton.
I would agree. And, and this is, I said after the Fian win that it was a good win for them, but this was going to be their first real test because, let's face it, I mean, nothing against Conley or Snowden, but it's D4 going up against Durfee D1.
Exactly.
Those are games Durfee should have blown out and won, and they did. That's exactly what they did. I think that the East Providence loss earlier in the year, they probably should have won that one. That was a fluke. They weren't hitting shots. They did this, another 40-plus point performance in that game. The Attleboro loss, I'd say that's a legitimate loss. Attleboro is always tough. They played Durfee tough every time. And I would go to say that the Taunton game might have slipped away a little bit in the Skip Karam tournament.
Yeah, it was a competitive game. It was virtually tied, right, with like 4 minutes to go. So
yeah, and then there was a tech at the end.
Yep.
That tech at the end created basically a 5-point swing, and that kind of sealed the fate there. So, but I mean, it's not a bad 6-4 is not bad. It would have been better to be 7-3 with a big 3 win, but they got New Bedford next week. You said they're winless.
Yeah, 0-8 I heard is what I heard before I came into work.
So I would imagine that Durfee should have the upper hand, but they're on the road, so you never know. We'll see what happens. These two teams will square off again later in the year. Actually, I think it was 3 weeks. I think it was the first weekend in February. I'm pretty sure because I know we have the Durfee girls game here on that schedule. So, hey, Greg, a lot of fun tonight. I'm so glad we finally did this. Seriously.
This was tremendous. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
I'm glad. We'll have you again before the season's over for sure. Got to get some of the kids in here too, so I can teach them how to commentate.
Yes.
But I'm sure we'll see you again as well. So, folks, thanks for tuning in. 61-42, the final from Durfee. The Hilltoppers drop Big 3, game number 1 to Brockton. Have a good night.
See ya.